And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on November the 17th. It's Thursday, it's wet. Oh, the rain just keeps coming down. What a bore. Morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Interesting times at the moment, has to be said. And of course, we've got the autumn statement today, which are we excited by that? No. So we'll move swiftly on from that. There's no good news coming out of that at all. We'll move swiftly on. Let's get on to mining. And actually, I tell you what, we'll start with the one I caught my eye a little bit this morning. I quite like it, but it was a reminder that it's still loss-making, is Afritin. I don't know if you looked at that one, Paul.
Yes, I have. That's interim results back from Afritin here. They essentially are reporting somewhat narrower margins, but production is up. But the tin price was down on a comparable basis too, so that's why the margins are narrower with higher costs on the operating side as well from inflationary pressures. 6-month production up 23% to 450 tons of tin concentrate. Revenue came in at 4.7 million sterling, which is down not quite 10% from the comparable period, and the average tin price had come off during the period down to 25,200 received as opposed to almost 37,000 in the first half of 2021. Cash and equivalents, though, on the 15th of November, very nice at 12.2 million, and they have the expansion of phase one is now complete, so we should see production rate getting into 1,200 tons per annum on concentrates by or sometime during the second half coming forward. So it's actually making proper progress here, but maybe people are a little bit disappointed just the same.
Yeah, the stock's actually halved in the last few months, but they're not a surprise. A lot of these mines have. I would quite like Anthony, the CEO, to pop in and have a chat. I was talking to somebody the other day, telling me that because of where it's located, that he's going to have a water problem. I don't know if you know anything about that, Paul.
Yeah, I'd have to ask him more questions about that. We're up in northwest Namibia is where the U.S. district lies, and it is outside of the Okavango basin, essentially. So it could be that they just need to develop a well field in order to go beyond the current expansion rate and have sufficient supplies of water.
Anthony, if you're listening, please do pop by VSA. You're always welcome anyway. Now, Paul, I know, just moving on, I know you're a big fan of East Star, aren't you? They had a bit of news, I think, this morning.
They did indeed. East Star, the London quoted explorer in Kazakhstan, has reported findings from EM geophysical survey that they've recently completed on one of their major projects, and they had identified 2 or 3 really primary targets now on that project, and they will secondary projects wise they have a couple of dozen of those, so definitely lots of things to get in with the drill rig on now.
All right, those are probably the 2 main ones on the London market today. There's quite a lot out on the ASX, isn't there?
There is on the ASX and also on the TSX as well, simply because exploration firms, of course, have had money in order to spend on good projects. Want to mention here that one of my favorites here in the gold space on the ASX is Tesoro Resources, which is exploring in Chile, and they have gotten a fully underwritten $8 million raise committed to, and Gold Fields is going to take half of that raise, or $4 million worth. That brings Gold Fields in as a major shareholder to Tesoro and its El Zorro gold deposit in Chile. And I think Gold Fields has come in because they see so many similarities to the size and great potential to their existing Gruyere joint venture in West Australia. Similar geology, similar grades of mineralization. This one at El Zorro simply hasn't been drilled enough.
I love your sort of French pronunciation of Chile. Your Chile. Anyway, that's the American accent of yours, Paul. I see also there was quite a big fundraise from Element 25, wasn't there, in Australia? They've raised about $35 million.
Yes, that's a big raise there for the manganese producer on the ASX in West Australia, Element 25. And the intent of that money is to further the studies they're working on to not only ship the bulk manganese ore for the steel industry that they already do from their deposit in West Australia, but to also to confirm up what will be the metallurgy in order to install a plant to produce battery grade manganese, the sulfate for the EV industry.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about manganese, but it is a key part to get battery grade manganese, isn't it? And I know there's quite a few big firms wandering around looking for some good manganese projects because they want to get it as part of their battery materials portfolio.
And manganese intended to displace the more expensive other components for this in the chemistry, like nickel or like cobalt, in order to get the same energy density in a battery, so at lesser cost. So that's why the EV industry is interested in manganese in batteries.
Yeah, no, we should keep an eye on that, I think. Okay, anything else you want to quickly mention?
Yes, it's important to mention two things. First of all, ASX listed Neo Metals has completed updated PFS on the Barrambie vanadium iron titania deposit there, also in West Australia. That's looking pretty robust too, with an IRR pre-tax at 25%, and that's a plus 20-year mine for open pit. It is on infrastructure, it is on a gas pipeline, so I do believe it will ultimately be financed. And the other one being Max Resources TSX listed copper explorer in Colombia. They have put the first drill holes ever into their Cesar project, which is up in northeast Colombia, not that far from the great big coal operation that Glencore owns up there. But this is a high-grade copper mineralization, and they have hit some as a chalcocite. And the land position they have is specific. This is a structurally hosted mineralization, appears to be related to volcanic breccia that they've drilled from the photos I've seen. But they have the land position on what is the nearby and much more laterally extensive apparent sediment hosted mineralization, which they will test after this short range program prior to Christmas.
Proving what a geologist you are, Paul, at heart. Very good. Okay, we'll call it a day there, and we will pick up again tomorrow. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you.